Welcome back to the Dance Dojo. My name is Robin Campbell. So today I wanted to do a quick video on the difference between a turn and a hairbrush for the follows. Because a lot of the time those two moves get mixed up, especially with the beginner follows. So as a lead, how can you make these movements more clear for the follow? And especially if you're dancing with a beginner, make sure that if you're trying to do a hairbrush, she doesn't all of a sudden turn. Okay, so let's get into it. All right, we are back with the fabulous Emily Sanchez, who is a professional dancer here in Medellin. She's usually working out of the Euphoria Dance Studio. So if you come to Medellin and you want classes, she's the one. Okay, so today we're gonna do a quick lesson on the difference between a turn and a hairbrush, because for beginner follows, that's something that's super confusing, especially if they never learned it before. And as a lead, if you're social dancing with a follow, and you want to give them a hairbrush, but all of a sudden they do a turn and they're guessing what you want, that's not so great. So you want to make things more clear, especially for people who have maybe never done them before. So the first thing that I want to explain is the difference in intention. So let's give you this angle. If you're going to do a turn, so Emily has an axis, oops, that's right above her head. Think of it as like a pole that's going straight through her body. So if I want to give her a turn, I'm going to draw a circle or like a halo around her axis, and that's going to make her turn. So if this hand is crossing her center line, okay? And same thing with this one. I could go around her axis this way, okay? So the main principle or point there is she has a center line and there's something crossing that center line, crossing that axis, and that's going to make her turn. Now, if you want to do a hairbrush, let's give you this angle. You want to make it more neutral territory. So moving your hands up and down instead of across her body, okay? Across her body, that's a turn. So up and down is neutral territory. So when I do it, I'm going to go straight up and over the midline of her body. Same thing if I'm going to go this side, or this way, straight up and over. And I can also do this other loop like this. And again, when you're doing these sort of loops or hairbrushes, you want to be fairly close to your partner. If you're far away, it's really hard to do it. So be nice and close, it's much easier. So that's the main difference. A turn crosses that center line, goes around the axis, and a hairbrush is going to use neutral territory, which is up and down. And that goes for me or her. So even though you can see her hand is crossing to the other side of her face, the intention is not that way. The intention is up and over. So that's going to feel much different to a follow. Okay? The other thing you can do is when you're dancing, you can give a turn, for example. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7, and at the end, do a hairbrush. So it's less likely that she's going to try and do a spin on her own right after she did a spin. But you never know what might happen. She might do 1, 2, 3, giro tres, something like that. Just because she feels the hand moving, and beginners are kind of jumpy and they don't want to make mistakes, so they're reacting extra fast and trying to guess what you want. So what you can do is, for example, do a turn, put your hand on her shoulder, so you're blocking her from turning that way, and then do the hairbrush. Similarly, so I'm using my right hand, and I'm crossing her head. I can do the same thing, but go around her head. So slightly different hairbrushes, but it's the same. So again, do a turn, block the shoulder, over the head. And then maybe she'll get the idea after a while, and you can stop blocking the shoulder, but that helps a lot. So similarly, if you try and do a turn with a beginner using this arm, so it's going to the outside of her body, sometimes you have to help on the shoulder just to make it very clear that you want to do the turn. So the same thing, you're taking variables out of the equation and you're making it very clear what you want to do. So there you go, quick tip on how to do some hairbrushes with a beginner, and making it very clear the difference between a turn, which is crossing the axis or going around the axis, and up and down, which is neutral territory. for her and for me. And that's it. So hopefully this video helped clear up some doubts on the difference between a turn, crossing that line, that axis, and doing a hairbrush. And hopefully you're much more successful on the dance floor, especially with those newer partners. So hope those tips helped. Let me know in the comments below if they did. And if you have any ideas for future videos, definitely throw those down there too. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.